Hello, everybody, to your friendly neighborhood INFP, and welcome to the last episode of this year. In 2021, I'm gonna wanna move on to some other stuff, some maybe more exciting stuff, maybe some more skits. It's figuring it out and all that. But I wanted to finish this off as so that 2021 can start off clean by looking at the last of the chapters that are currently up until I find a new artist. That is chapter 3 and what happened behind the scenes. And of course, this was the reveal. Basically, this was the coming together of ENTJ and INFP. It was always going to be. The dance was always going to be the relationship starting between ENTJ and INFP. Now, initially, way back when, way back in 3 years ago, way back when I was talking with Ellen, the artist, the ISFJ, we didn't know whether or not we would have a married couple. We were thinking, okay, well, maybe ESFJ is going to be married with someone, and the idea was that there was going to be one married couple and then maybe another dating couple, but she didn't want to have too much couples in the thing due to not being a huge fan of romance and all of that, and that's fine. So initially it was decided that there would only be one couple in the comic, at least while she was on board. There might be more couples now as the comic goes on, and whoever the new artist is and what they're looking for and all that, I still don't know because I don't have the artist. But initially, it was decided that there was only going to be the one couple, and it was going to be these two because it is my favorite ship. If you haven't seen my shipping video, you would know that this is my favorite ship, at least in the MBTI world. So, going on to the next page. So the idea here, it was actually, there's a lot more to this than was written. I had written a lot more to it, and I had to condense and rewrite and all of that. Basically, I needed to figure out how I was going to start chapter 3, and once again, the ENTP and ENFP are always my muses. If I need to start something, if I need to end something, if I need to do something, if I need to transition, those two are my catalysts. For this comic, more than any other type, ENTP and ENFP are always my catalysts. And they are some of my favorite characters to write throughout the entire thing. I, of course, enjoy writing myself and the other types in there as well, but I wanted to I was trying to figure out how to start it, and just having them come in there and bug INFP and all that just seemed like a proper start. Then we have, ISTJ is terrifying to those girls, especially when they know they're not supposed to be doing something that they are doing. And so they're supposed to run, which they do. And initially, I had, I think I had seen them, my idea was that she would catch them before they got to this point. They tried to run and she just clotheslined them or something, but this is good anyways. And then from here, it goes on to what I was trying to do for the next chapter. You're not going to see it, obviously. But there was going to be 3 more pages of ISTJ lecturing ENTP and ENFP for, disturbing INFP's work, especially since I, as an INFP, and every other INFP out there will know this, as well as other P-types, we are very easily distracted, and when we're easily distracted, we don't get any work done. And ISTJ knows this, thus her dragging them away so that INFP can essentially get back to work. And the reason why the scenery here has changed from chapter 2 to chapter 3, like I was saying in the previous video, is, at least I think I said in the previous video, is that the artist didn't realize that when I was writing the script, I guess I wasn't clear enough, that I meant that INFP and ISTJ were in a separate building. Like, they were in the workspace, not in INFP's room, but in a workspace, because if INFP was in his room, nothing would get done. So ISTJ tends to bring him to her office, or to the office where she has him work for her, as she is his editor and / publisher. So, continue. Oh, and she's also, ISTJ is also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but she's also the one who has known INFP the longest out of all of them. Now, this isn't true for real life, but I've enjoyed watching ISTJ characters in shows, so I wanted to have a connection between INFP and ISTJ, and just having them be BFFs and have known each other like longer than anyone else, I thought would have been a good, it's something I wanted there. So then here is, so this is beginning to, I'm kind of sad I deleted it. I kind of wish I didn't delete it. There was, I had to condense, I think, several pages down to 3. Or down to 1. Like, basically, I had to take what I had extended and condense it. And so from this scene to the next page here, there is an entire dialogue that goes on about INFP talking about practicing his dancing, talking about his feelings towards ENTJ, talking about trying to bring up courage, trying to bring up a whole, like, it's a lot of self-awareness and character growth that was happening, but ISTJ felt that people would have already gotten INFP's feelings towards ENTJ anyways, and would already get the character growth without that needing to be there anyways. So she wasn't too thrilled with that, like, line of dialogue and all that was there. So I revised, rewrote, and did the best that I could with what I had. And that's where this scene ends up. And there was also supposed to be a thing where they are driving already. And so from there to here, you're supposed to see there's another set scene that I had initially planned for ISTJ and INFP to be driving and talking to each other. There was like this huge thing that I had kind of planned out, but that was also taken out and revised. So just so you guys have an idea of like what was going on behind there and what you guys aren't going to be seeing and what was initially going to be in there. And it turned out fine as is. And yeah, so for this scene with ESTP asking ESFP what type of clothes he have, I showed ISFJ, or Ellen, I showed the artist, Ellen, 2 sets of clothing for the dance for ESTJ to wear. Not ESTJ, sorry, ESTP to wear. This is ESTP, not ESTJ. ESTJ is right there. So I'd shown 2 types of clothing to her. One was a kind of like more frilly, kind of sexy type of suave looking ESTJ set for him to wear, where he was like looking completely fabulous. And then the other one was like kind of stylish, but not as dramatically out there. So the one that he throws away, the lighter one, that's the one where it's like super flashy, and he goes for like, okay, I'm still going to look good in this, but I'm not going to wear the super flashy one. And so he, of course, decided that the more casual, elegant one is what's going to make him, well, as ESFP said, feel more sexy. So then we have, and I don't know what was going on with ESTJ's colors there. Might have been a thing with like miscoloring. I don't know. This isn't the artist's perspective of it. So would have been interesting on doing the artist's perspective of behind the scenes and what she thought and all of that. But part of me feels like a little too late now. And so anyways, so we have this scene with ESTJ, and then you find out the kind of mad scientist that ISTP is. And who is, of course, when they need to set everything up, ISTP is the one who they tend to call. And he likes to tinker with things. If you haven't read Chapter 1 and gotten that by now, you should read Chapter 1 because that's what happens. And ESTJ has a clear indicator of when ISTJ says improvement, something is bound to happen that he's not going to be too thrilled with. In this case, getting blinded by the light. And so I wanted to bring in just like a series of light puns. And that was essentially where this was going to go. And then, of course, you have INFJ coming. Like, ESTJ does not like puns. He's like, ugh, puns. And INFP being the worst of it. Like, as soon as he goes on a pun tangent, it's bad. That's why that line right there. And the reason why ENFJ and INFJ are doing puns as well is because I've heard from a lot of ENFJs and INFJs that they are connoisseurs of puns, whether they be bad or otherwise, and that they enjoy doing them as well. So that's why these two are the main first culprits of that. And then, of course, so we have ENFJ come in, and then we have then we have ISFP, who is like, because of his he tends to stay in a lot and doesn't go out a lot except to take photos and do other, like, people don't know what strangely enough, people have more of an idea of what INTJ is up to. At least they have somewhat of an idea. Meanwhile, they just think this guy stays in his room all day doing artsy stuff or photography stuff. They don't actually know what he is up to. So that's a little fun character tidbit right there, is that they have very little like INTJ, they've got more dirt on than they do on ISFP. And even with INTJ, it's not like they have that much more dirt on her. This one was, I didn't realize what I did here. This was my writing, and it should have been like, should have been something else. It shouldn't have been a repeative, yeah. Either it should have been very funny, you guys, with the yeah taken out of it, and you know we love you. And then after that, it's like, yeah, I'm sure you believe in a thing called love. And then ESFP breaking out into the darkness outfit going, just listen to the rhythm of your heart, type thing. I just thought that would be like a because he breaks out in song quite a bit and does song references all the time. And his ESFP's ability is the powers of quick change, among some other things, which you'll find out once I find the next person to work with. Continuing on here. So what I thought is this point when she stops him. So what I initially had thought was she's coming behind him. She's not in front of him. Like, she doesn't walk in front of him. So what I initially wanted was for her to be behind him, to put her hand over his mouth and just like glare at him and be like, no. That's initially what I was planning on. And honestly, the panel was supposed to end here. This was the ISFJ being like, so you're not going to what was the word? Finish it or complete the thing that INFP was like, you're going to leave that unfinished or undone. And the idea was that ISTJ would have stopped him, and he would have looked at her, and it would have been no, like this scene right here, and he would have begrudgingly accepted it. But instead it turned into him doing it anyways. So this happening was due to a conversation with ISFJ of not leaving it hanging, yes. Her asking if I was just going to leave it hanging like that, and I obviously didn't. Then, of course, we have them coming to kidnap, sort of, INFP and bring him to the change room. The way she does it is so okay. She drew this far better than what I could have imagined. She really brought out the humor. So basically what I thought was going to happen was ESFP would lift him by one side, ESTP would lift him by the other side, not ESTP just hoist him up and carry him to the change room. So that was kind of funny and did a and okay, so this scene I had watched some JoJo things, I had watched some other things, and then of course there was Deadpool. I had read something with Deadpool making sense, like his jokes of like, my common sense is tingling, and Spider, like the whole thing. And so ESFJ realized what ENTJ was planning, due to always being interested in gossip and romance and all that. Hence, him being all like, my gossip sense is tingling. Initially, ISFJ, I mean, I don't know if she still likes it. She might not, I don't know. She wanted this changed to something else. I know that much. And, but this was the funnier thing, where it was supposed to be this kind of JoJo kind of dawning dramatic realization, and he wasn't supposed to dash. So my thought is that this should be flipped. You should be seeing him from the point of the hallway with him having glistening eyes. So you wouldn't have seen inside of his room. You just would have seen his door open, like him like opening the door in that kind of manner with two star gleaming eyes and a like mad grin on his face. And it was supposed to be like a thing where he's like dashing down the hallway and like jumping into the car and all that. But like that's saved more for animation level stuff anyway. So yeah, that's that. And then, of course, we have them finishing up with INFP. And so I had seen this scene, not this scene specifically, but this also had to be rewritten so that INTJ could understand that they were doing a favor for ENTJ, but it wasn't under an official business. And basically, everybody knows that if you get on her good side, good things come to you. And everybody knows that she likes INFP, and what better way to get on her good side than to make INFP look nice for her. And so this scene, okay, there were a few things, and I didn't know how to write it. There were a few things. And so she's supposed to come in with the dramatic entrance, and what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to see her in this point of view, looking down when this happens. So it should have been like, I'm facing the camera right now, and her looking down and going, a present for me? You shouldn't have. So it should have been that kind of like cheeky, mischievous type of thing going on. And if I can get it animated, that's how I'll probably do it. So that's not on the side. I would want to have it flip so that it's more of a, you're facing her fully, and she's just like, my. So that's one thing. And the other thing was here when they said, hi, ENTJ. The other option we had, and I didn't know how to write it in because, trying to like figure out how to write everything is not always the easiest, was you were supposed to have INFP fall here, and like after they said the and just have INFP and like have this, and then look at the other, so put this here with her eyes open and then looking down with INFP just falling down, and then a present, like there were options and I didn't know how to properly, accurately do it. And so it ended up as thus. But yeah, ISFJ did suggest would have been like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and then boom, INFP falling onto the floor. But I didn't know how to split the panels, split the pages, and all of that to make it happen for what I was planning and writing. Maybe if I did storyboards, I would have a better idea as to how to do this, even if it is with stick figures. I may have to do some storyboarding. Fun fact, I have done zero storyboarding for this comic, which probably would have helped ISFJ a lot if I had. But that is then and this is now. And she did a good job anyway, so like all of this, she is amazing in, and and so she of course helps him up, and she eyes him, and yeah, they're the cutest is all I'm going to say. And this is when ENTJ has finally decided to make her move. And as ISTJ is like, because she knows the details of the past and what's going on and the character traits and all of that, yeah, this is the point where ENTJ is, she knows she's about to make her move. This is when the relationship starts, which is going to be hilarious, me trying to figure out how to write a relationship when I've never been in one. That's going to be interesting. Maybe I can get somebody else to write that kind of relationship, or maybe I can interview people. I'll figure it out. Maybe it'll just be my fantasies. And like it's a comic anyways. Who expects reality from comics with the silliness that they pull off anyways? So we'll see. Then of course ESFJ appears. Excuse me. So here, when I did this, ISFJ made a note where ESFJ has a scrapbook of all the dramatic and like spectacular moments. He's got a scrapbook on absolutely every single member of MBTimes, of pictures and like things that have been going on, for memories, for gossip, for a bunch of reasons, to know what they like, to know what he can do for them, to know what kind of, like, there is many reasons, but he has a massive scrapbook with all these people, hence him paying ISFP for the photos. And then, of course, going towards food, and surprise! Okay, so here, once again, remember what I said earlier about I don't know how to make a scene go forward? So a few things happened here. One, I realized that there was an odd level of people, and I needed to throw in somebody. I'm like, okay, ISFJ is not going to be there, INTJ is not going to be there. Some other people are not going to be there. INTP is not going to be there. I need somebody who is actually going to be at the dance. And I was like, okay, well, I can add in the twins, and wherever one of them is, the other one is not far behind. Like, they do everything together, almost everything together. And so, this is just, like, so cute. Like, all of this is adorable. But anyways, that's why they're here. ENTP's here to just watch. ENFP's there to have fun. Both of them are there to have fun, but for very different reasons. ENFP is there to take part of the fun. This is just so adorable. I'm sorry, I just can't get over how cute this entire chipmunk ENFP thing is. It is the cutest thing. Sorry, I'm gushing over the artist's art. So, and how cute she made everything. And so, yeah, as ENTP said, she's just there to watch, and this allowed the scene to transition. Moving forward, we have ENFP coming in and grabbing ESTP and making ESFP feel a little sad. Normally she would, but in this scene, ISFJ had made the comment, Ellen made the comment of it would be hilarious for ISTJ to show shark teeth and with her grin. And I was like, you know what? That's hilarious. Do it. And which is where, like, I wrote this line is like, so she was supposed to grin. And then, like, that's what I wrote. She grins. And then she writes, don't worry, I don't bite much. And then the whole kinky. And that's where ISFJ was like, it would be hilarious if she had shark teeth. And so then we have ESTJ being like, okay, everybody ready? Okay, we're starting. And, like, doing the whole DJ thing and all of that. Which leads up to the dance, which leads up to this whole dance montage, and a bit of a dance montage, and then of course we have the romance is about to begin, where you find out that INFP has been practicing his dancing for ENTJ because, you know, that's how much he likes her, and he was willing to improve to, like, he feels very proud of, like, being able to say it. But what he is not expecting, and what I would not expect, but I would find terribly attractive, is what's about to happen. And so she's eyeing him, and like ESFJ's like, this is great. This is better. Like, once again, better than watching a soap opera, or more spicy than a soap opera. And oh, I love ENTP so much. Like, I wrote this and it still makes me laugh. Like, the way the artist made it come to life, it makes me laugh. It brings me so much joy. And I would love to have this continued. So, yeah, you got ENTP be like, yes, yes, yes. She's just waiting for it. And, like, super thrilled because, you know, ENTPs are also sometimes secretly into this kind of stuff, too. Also, ISTP is... so, if you don't know anything about ISTP, is that in secret, he will play romance games, and he loves romance things in secret, but nobody can know. And so that's why he's like, you know what to do. He's like, got you covered. Meanwhile, ENTP's like... the whole kind of like Animaniacs-ish style. Like you could totally see one of the Animaniacs doing that kind of attitude. And where she got the sign, you don't know, but it's still hilarious. And so she promises to keep the secret, but that's just another thing she holds over ISTP. And then finally, shabam, my favorite scene of chapter 3, this, to which I think I've shown it. It's, I have the wallpaper, which you guys should have seen. Where did I put the sticker? Where do I, yes, the sticker, which was made into merch, which you guys can get. And, I love it so much. I love it so much. And yeah, that is the end. This is where it all led up to. And I love it so much. And yeah, that is the end of chapter 3. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.